thank you for all you do for the fight against cancer. As Mark told you, we endowed my family and I, my mom, Annette, my brother Mark, my wife Susan, and our daughter Madeline, endowed this award to honor, as Mark said, a child who either rides, fundraises, volunteers for the cause. 2 years ago, we honored Cameron Humphreys, or should I say, Cameron honored us. You may recall that Cameron rode in honor of his friend Alec Kazanjian and spoke about Alec and his fight at the dinner at that time. Last year, Cameron rode the century to send the message to all of us that the fight continues. At last year's dinner, we honored Alec as one of our co-recipients to both recognize his fight and his fundraising efforts on behalf of the cause. This year, I'm both pleased and honored to introduce another member of this close-knit circle and our 2016 Milton Braverman Memorial Youth Award winner, Ms. Kayleen Humphreys. In the immortal words of Mr. Roy Carden, you are awesome. Even at the young age of 8, Kayleen is truly an example of the concept of paying it forward. She was inspired by her brother's efforts and channeled that inspiration into action. She started riding her bike at 5 years old. 4 days after the training wheels and pedals came off the bike, she had it mastered. This year, just 3 years later, after she learned how to ride her bike, she rode the bike-a-thon from Egg Harbor to Atlantic City, 21 miles. That in itself is worthy of recognition. Kayleen rode the bike-a-thon to honor her great-grandmoms, Dorothy, who was fighting leukemia, and Marge. Sadly, they both passed away this year, Dorothy passing away just a few weeks ago. But both great-grandmothers have lived long enough to know that Kayleen was riding for them. And not just riding, but fundraising too. Kayleen raised over $700 for the cause. Kayleen, you truly are an inspiration to everyone here. And as a testament to that inspiration, she brought along 2 friends, Jamie and Elena, to tonight's dinner in the hopes that they will be inspired to ride with us next year. I hope so. Now, you may recall that when we honored Cameron 2 years ago, Kayleen and Cameron's dad, Dave, told me that during his term in the Army, he taught the Army's 7 core values. One of them is selfless service. It's defined as putting the welfare of the nation, the Army, and your subordinates before your own. Selfless service is larger than just one person. You are doing your duty without thought of recognition or gain. It's a commitment to go a little further, endure a little longer, and look a little closer to see how he or she can add to that effort. I think you'll all agree that Kayleen epitomizes that concept and the spirit of this award. David and Owen, I don't know what you're doing, but you certainly instilled this in Cameron and now in Kayleen. And I have no doubt that your daughter Jasmine, who at 3 years old and rides in the bike chariot, will no doubt emulate her brother and sister. Whatever you 2 are doing, keep it up. You should be as proud of your kids as we are. Now it's my pleasure and honor to turn the mic over to Kayleen.
First, I would like to thank the Braverman family for recognizing my efforts and for the American Cancer Society Bike-a-thon this year. I'm excited to receive this award with all of you tonight. I would also like to thank my family for making this possible. We all know what it's like to be close to someone with cancer. They need support, help, love, and encouragement to be this way. Much like we do for each other to find a cure. It is a long, bumpy road to beat cancer, and we should expect nothing less in conquering it. I challenge you to renew your efforts and to set a new goal to do more next year than this year. I know I will, and I hope you will too. Thank you.
Having two kids like Cameron and Kayleen, I don't even worry about telling you what my name is. I'm Cameron's dad and Kayleen's dad. You know, I was going to write a script for my speech, and I decided not to because I just wanted to speak from the heart. And as I look out, I kind of wish I did. But so I wanted to just talk a little bit about this story because for the last 3 years, it's really been an honor to be a part of this. You know, Cameron started the ride. He wanted to bring his friend who had leukemia. He brought him to the dinner a couple years ago. Inspired Allie to do the ride. And 2 years ago, 2 days after a spinal tap, Allie gets on the bike and rides all the way to Cherry Hill, which was only supposed to be the bridge. So Kayleen had been chomping at the bit, and Dad, I want to do it, Dad, I want to do it. And I said, you're only 5 years old, you're only 6 years old. And finally, when she was 8, she was allowed to do it, and she did the 21 miles, and I'm just blessed to be with kids this way. So really what I want to say here is inspiration is the word of the night, right? We hear everybody talk about inspiring. And I watch these 3 kids inspire each other, and you know, whatever problems we don't fix today becomes their problems tomorrow. So I encourage everybody here to get their kids involved with riding their bikes and these events, because I'll tell you as a parent, there's nothing better than to watch your kids do the selfless service and learn the value of that. You know, it's because when they have these problems, they're not going to be equipped for it unless we teach it to them now. So I really encourage everybody here to get their kids, grandkids involved, and get more kids riding. So thank you for listening to me. I'm happy to be here.